Jesus, I'm hot. Ugh. Oh, God. Incognito. Yeah, it's just so, like, I have no reason to do that. It's no real reason. I'll never have the crown at this rate. What crown? How do you get the crown? What does that mean? Top fans. Toadburger is doing very well, but Mina 2911 is currently number one. This British streams video. Now you're streaming. You interrupted it. I'm so sorry. What did someone ask about Exeter? Did I see that in the chat? Let's big up, man. Watching from Exeter. Nice, bro. I miss Exeter. I miss living there. I loved Exeter. Fun place to live. I know it's a little boring, but I'm a little boring. So, hello, Piss Gang. I'm not sure we can call themselves the Piss Gang. Yeah, you yap and donate. That's how you become it. Oh well, Toadburger's now number one. Mediocre Violist is number two. String of Emojis is number three. And yeah. Hello everyone. Hello. God, that TikTok live was horrible. I guess I haven't been live in a few days, and when I haven't been live in a few days, it's always like that. That's kind of my problem. I was pretty pissed off. This ContraPoints video is now doing okay though, but the ContraPoints video got absolutely slaughtered by utter woke nonsense. The ContraPoints video got slaughtered in terms of views because last night I fucking woke up. I woke up this morning and it had just been privated. YouTube auto-privated a video, which is crazy. I don't know. This is an old record thing. It's not mine. I don't have a record. There's only a couple of albums that I'd want, which are like Heaven or Las Vegas, The Smiths, probably the Peel sessions by The Smiths. I know John Peel wasn't such a great guy, but what's even on? I know there's Still Ill has a great Peel sessions. What difference does it make? Oh. Reel Around the Fountain. Yeah, it's got a lot of Smith's bangers on there. This Charming Man, that's another good version of it. Really nice, yeah. Handsome Devil. But yeah. Do you do debates? I mean, I sometimes do, but like a lot of the time people don't come on. Hi Chris, I like your outfit so much. I think this is actually like a pajama shirt. It's way too small. I need to change it. And I'm also just wearing some shit shorts. I just always get too hot whenever I'm streaming. I can't watch Jubilee. I can't watch Jubilee at all. But that is a very white boy selection of music. Yeah, I mean, I just love the Smiths. I'll be honest. I've loved the Smiths for years. Also, before we start, there's some guy who's been obsessing with this video I posted on TikTok, and he has the a video I posted on Twitter, and he is like crazy. Because, I mean, like, I've had Twitter. This guy joined Twitter in 2021, right? I've had Twitter. I mean, I've deleted a lot of my tweets because I've had Twitter since, like, 2012. Yeah, I joined in May of 2012. So I was, like, fucking 11 when I got Twitter. No, I wasn't, actually. Sorry, no, I was older. I wasn't 11. No, I was 18. But, yeah. Yeah, I've had Twitter for a long ass time and I just have nowhere near as many tweets. But let me show you his profile picture. It's really funny. He has who does this? Like, who's just like, God, this looks fucking awesome. Oh my god. I like, who is like, what's even the prompt for this? David Tennant with a gun with Daleks with an Israel flag? Like, why are you doing that? Like, who is this guy? Like, who is Sadako? Like, it's just like, and also he's tweeted 10,000 times since 2021. Like, what does he even tweet? Constantly, like, just constantly. God, and also, like, just look at these people. Like, this... It's just crazy. Literally just constant. Oh, God. If you clutch your pearls at stray shell grazing a church, which was immediately recognised as a mistake and apologised for, but ignore the direct and purposeful massacre of Christians in southern Syria by jihadis, I don't believe you. It's really funny that, like, someone pro-Israel would tweet this. And what he was upset about is, I'll talk about this, because this was fucking crazy, by the way. I probably can't play it, but it's this was at the protest yesterday. Hundreds and hundreds of, no, like maybe 20, 30 police officers protecting these weirdos, these creeps, fucking playing We Are the Champions, singing, "We are champions, you have no country," on like loudspeakers, really horribly, drowning out people actually chanting, because there was about 10 of those people who were actually there. And it's just like, that's just straight up provocation, like just saying, oh, Palestinians have no country, blah, blah, blah. It's just crazy, isn't it? 10k tweets and like fucking, however, I don't know. Just like tweeting that much and just like no one being interested. At what point do you just say, yeah, bro, I should probably go outside? Like just tweeting that much anyway is not healthy. I guess it's kind of part of like the post-pandemic online internet, like way too many people being onboarded and spending too much time on the internet and just tweeting like that. It's crazy, bro. Crazy. Do you go to protests often? When I can. I missed the last one and I've missed a few. I don't know if I could watch a Doctor Who clip on stream, but thank you for posting that. I think it would get the stream fucking taken down. That person has brainworms. Yes, I mean, like anyone who is tweeting that much about how much they love Israel and jihadis and like how Palestine is a death cult, they have brainworms. Like, these people are not normal. These are like deranged people, I've got to be honest. Like, these are people who are like dangerous. Like, these are people who should probably be arrested in, like, any just or moral society. Because, like, the pro-Palestine movement are just, like, it's most, like, you go and it's just, like, loads of old grannies and shit and, like, people of all different backgrounds from all different classes of society, ages and everything. And then you just encounter the counter-protests and it's basically just white people, like, chanting and some, like, crazy Iranians going, "Kill all Palestinians, we have IDF flags, we hate them all," and it's just like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah. I enjoyed Superman. Maybe we could watch Ben Shapiro talking about Superman. I enjoyed Superman, but there is something I want to say, which is I don't necessarily love this element of, like, I feel like superhero films inculcate this feeling into us that there's, like, something coming down to save us, and that, like, that there is some just, like, just force that's going to come and save us from everything, and I don't necessarily love that idea. And, like, in the context of Palestine, Palestinians aren't, well, I guess in Gaza people beg for the world to come and save them, but no one comes, sadly. There's just no one coming, and I think maybe they should have just made the US government more evil. Like, maybe the US government should have been, like, starving kids in Moravia, and Lex Luthor should have been working with them. Sorry, no, Jahanpur, is that what it's called? But yeah, I just think sometimes that I don't necessarily love that element. And there's always the element of, like, being a civilian in a superhero film. It's kind of a wider problem. But I once heard it described like this. There's literally just, like, no fucking merit to being a civilian in a superhero film. If you're not a superhero, basically everything around you gets destroyed. You might just die. You can't do anything, like, because these ultra powerful beings are around you. But yeah, it's an interesting topic. I will pin the Discord. Thank you. I nearly put you in a timeout, Hyper J, so You should be very wary of my powers. I've gone crazy with it. I have gone crazy with it, officially. What was I going to say? I don't know. Yeah, that ContraPoints video is actually creeping up now. It's up to 20,600 views, so that's good. Probably end up the day around 30,000, which is not actually that far off like other videos that ended up doing quite well. Like, it started the day probably about 20,000 behind the Travelling Israel is a Liar video, and it's now ended up like 10,000, 11,000 exactly, pretty much. Imprison Hyper J. Hell yeah, Hyper J is going to prison forever. Dictator Christ, yeah. I need to stop streaming on TikTok. I so much prefer this. Sorry, I'm just looking at my Twitter and it's just like a fucking video like, do not disrespect the King's Guard. And it's just like, oh God, Jesus Christ. I haven't actually watched the video of Daniella Weiss on Piers Morgan at all right now yet. Maybe I would like to watch the Mehdi Hassan thing, but I have seen people put it like this. Like, I guess it was kind of... I think even some of the crazier people I've had, like, you know, semi-productivist discussions with. But, like, that opinionated girl is just a straight-up racist Nazi piece of shit. Like, sorry, that she is, like, that is what she is. Like, trying to have a discussion with that person, she is, like, deranged. Like, utterly deranged. And I think that that's what it would be like trying to debate Nazis. Like, these people are just deranged racists. So, yeah, yeah, I think that the film does. Todd McGowan's take is the best one of the Superman films is the one where he has to give up his powers to have sex and be like a human being, because then it actually adds some worth. Like, you can have superpowers, but you know, you couldn't. You know, you can have superpowers, but you wouldn't be able to use. You wouldn't be able to engage with normal human life. But I'm not surprised Superman did well. It was like, I know it wasn't like the best film I've ever seen, but it was certainly decent for like a superhero film. Superman didn't just have a watermelon; he had a Hamas flag on his head, and he sung "Strike a Blow on Tel Aviv." That was my favourite bit of the film, I gotta say. I am joking, of course. Superman did not do any of those things. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people on TikToks are just mega racist. Like, someone was saying something about the moderate case. I don't know if he made a video about me. I don't actually really care if he did, but I'll just have a check. He probably did. I almost have 400,000 followers on TikTok. Oh God, I don't care. Yeah. So, Superman is Hamas. You know what? We can watch. Actually, I'll add that to the title because it's more sloppy. So, I saw Ethan Klein saying that. Maybe I'll talk about that because that's funny. I think I might make a video called, like, Superman and Palestine, but yeah. Well, also, like, Baravia in the film came across as pretty evil and pretty bad, but, like, Israel's just, like, fucking worse in real life, like, genuinely. Like, genuinely. Oh, guys, terrible breaking news. Netanyahu diagnosed with gastroenteritis after eating spoiled food. Will work from home for 3 days. I reckon that means he shit himself. So that's, I guess, you know, that's something to cling on to.
Alrighty, folks.
I feel like Ben Shapiro fell off. I haven't seen him in ages. He's just a funny looking character. 346k views with 7.21 million followers doesn't feel that good.
So I watched the new Superman. My wife and I always have an interesting time watching movies together because when I go, I'm very analytical about what I think of the movie. My wife sort of gets an overall gestalt and it's mostly like, that was fun. And so my wife's review was, that was fun. And I think most people who come away from the movie will probably do the that was fun thing. And that seems to be what the people are saying. People are generally liking the movie. They think it's fun. They think it's kind of a kick. David Corenswet is charming. He has good physical presence. I didn't mind him as Superman at all. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane was fine. I thought she was great. I thought both of them had good chemistry. I thought all of that was fine. And then there is the analysis. So my overall review of Superman. Superman is super meh. It's meh. Okay, so all the people who are getting super exercised over the politics, and we'll get to the politics a little bit later on. I think that they are overestimating how much politics is in this. I think they're deliberately misinterpreting some of the politics that are in there. This is not a movie about illegal immigration. It's not a movie about ICE, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, the Palestinians. There may be references there if you have politics on the brain, but other than that, I really don't think that there's that much of this there. That is not my overall problem with the movie.
His eyebrows get darker every time I see him. His makeup artist is pro-Palestine. He's just an odd, sad man. Like, he's just an odd, sad man. Yeah. I saw this last night. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was a decent-ish film.
My overall problem with the movie is that you are taking the most iconic American IP of all time, Superman, which is to be treated with a certain level of respect. That doesn't mean it has to be grand mythology the way that Zack Snyder wants to do. Like, my standard for Superman is not Man of Steel. My standard for Superman movies is 1978 Richard Donner, the best version of Superman. It just is. Overall, here's my problem. James Gunn is the wrong director, writer, creator for this thing.
I saw Chewbacca on the cover of People magazine. I was like,
oh God, I don't want to listen to him talk about this. Where does he get to the politics?
Like, way worse than My Dog Happy. My Dog Happy, way better than this dog, and My Dog makes trouble.
Oh God, this guy is so boring.
So Green Lantern is there, and he's kind of just a schmuck, and he's there as comic relief. And then you have Mr. Terrific, who's the actual hero of the film, who you learn nothing about other than he's just kind of a noble do-gooder fellow. And you have all these superheroes who are wandering around. You never get any information about them that makes them interesting or sympathetic or even particularly cool. You don't know the motivations of any of the villains, except for Lex, who it turns out is just really kind of jealous of Superman because Superman has superpowers, and Lex is like,
I really do like Nicholas Hoult, though. I'll say that much.
I'm really smart, and Superman is really strong, so why do people like Superman more than they like me? Which is a pretty boring motivation, to be frank. So the characters are complete pastiches. They're just cardboard cutouts. Even the moments that are supposed to hit don't hit because there's so much going on in the background.
Well, I kind of want to see what he has to say about the politics.
Acting, because he's James Gunn and everything has to be some sort of dumb joke. Like, well, shouldn't Superman be doing something about it? No, let them handle it. Again, that's irritating. As far as the plot itself makes very little sense. The plot is basically that Lex Luthor has decided that he is going to make a deal with a foreign politician who the left wants to believe is both Vladimir Putin and Benjamin Netanyahu, but actually is just kind of nothing, is going to invade another country. And Superman stops that invasion.
I feel like it was... I'm sorry, I feel like it was... I don't think you'd have to have politics on the brain to be like, hang on a second, there are quite a lot of references to Palestine and stuff. I mean, they just try and shoot a child randomly. Like, the guy sounds like, kind of like Putin a little bit. Also a bit like Netanyahu, except without a fucking Chicago accent, because Netanyahu's got a Chicago accent. But, like, oh, God, like, I don't know. I don't think it requires politics on the brain. Like, just watching it. Maybe it was because I went in preconditioned to think that it was about Palestine. But even then, I think it would be hard not to think it was.
Apparently, Lex wants to use this as an excuse to box up Superman, saying that he's running counter to American foreign policy. Now, we've seen that iteration in other movies. Right? That was in Batman vs. Superman. You've seen it in other versions of the Superman story. But it's not really taken kind of to its ultimate extreme.
I think sometimes, I think that The Boys kind of is, I enjoy The Boys more, and it's not just because it's like, oh, superheroes are bad. I think perhaps it's also because it just doesn't play into the thing that superheroes are going to come and save you. Oh, Philly accent, sorry.
Politically. In any case, it turns out that what he really wants is to annex half of this separate country. He's going to split it with this other dictator. One major plot hole. Lex Luthor is obviously the smartest person in the film. So smart, he can create his own universes. This is a major plot point. And he is concerned about a relatively small piece of land occupied by third worlders. This is his big plan. And later...
I feel like calling them third worlders is insane. But also, in the film, it says that he doesn't care about any of that. He says that he literally does it to, like, it's all to take down Superman. And I feel like being motivated by, like, being jealous of other people is, like, actually more of an explanation than you get in most superhero films. It's never just that they're, like, insecure people. It's because they always have, like, some overarching evil plan that doesn't make sense. But, like, this film had one. It was like, hey, he's motivated by being, like, a jealous piece of shit. But yeah, saying third worlders is fucking crazy. Yeah, he literally does in the film. He says, I don't care about what's happening there. I don't care about any of it. It was literally just as a pretext to take you down. And all it's about is just, like, being obsessed with... he's obsessed with him and thinks that he's, like, a piece of shit, basically, and wants to get rid of him. Like, there's literally what's said, isn't it?
It turns out that he said, oh, no, I started that war just so that I could get people to turn against Superman. Okay, well, he does that halfway through the film. And then he jails him, and then he leaves him alive and explains the secondary plan That apparently was his primary plan, sort of. But he doesn't kill Superman at the time for a reason that remains undisclosed.
We hear that he killed 27 children, and you're always going to make mistakes, but that's how it is.
The entire plot is a complete mess. If you try to chart it, there's
He did, I swear they also gave the thing of like, oh, they wanted to interview Superman and like kill people who might be involved with him in any capacity. Calling people third worlders is rancid. Yeah, I feel like Ben Shapiro calling anyone a third worlder is fucking rancid. Yeah, I know. And also, by the way, on the topic, I kind of had a thought about this Frenchie being... he was in the IOF. He served in Lebanon, I think, in 2006. I think one of my problems with, like, deciding what I watch on the basis of, like, what people are, like... You know, something like The Sopranos. I'm sure that there are many Zionists in The Sopranos. There's also that really funny scene that I do really like where it's towards the end of The Sopranos when Tony and Hesh have a fallout. And Hesh is watching the TV and he's like... And Tony knocks on the door and he goes... and Hesh goes, I've just been watching the news. Fucking Hezbollah. I love that scene.
no way to do it because James Gunn doesn't care about plot. James Gunn doesn't care about characters. James Gunn cares about jokes and aesthetics. That's what James Gunn cares about.
Nobody cares anymore.
It's very difficult to make Clark a hero in a situation in which the plot is a complete mess. And again, that's not a rip on Nicholas Hoult, who I love in everything. I think he's great. Or David Corenswet or Rachel Brosnahan. That's a rip on James Gunn as a scriptwriter. It's just not a good script. Okay, we'll get to more of this Superman review. This overlong...
This is the scene.
Nice to see you.
In here.
Nice to see you too.
Well, I was watching CNN. Fucking Hezbollah.
I love that scene. Just watching CNN. Fucking Hezbollah.
Long and overcritical Superman review in a moment. First, it's rather ironic when you think about it. Millions and millions, just one click, you can too. I mean that the visuals are CGI vomit, like complete CGI vomit. So James Gunn has an addiction to kind of gross and weird imagery, which doesn't ever really get a kinetic scene of Superman doing something cool. You have multiple scenes of giant, heavy, stupid. Just stop it.
Get some help.
I get very exercised. This is the only thing that really exercises me about this. John Williams, like a pedal tone score. Like, what are you doing? Okay, then we get to the actual politics. So I know this is what people are waiting for. They're waiting for my political rip on this film. So we've been told this is a movie about illegal immigration. Not really. Honestly, like you have to look to find that. There's one line where Clark is saying, aren't you going to read me my rights? James Gunn's politics is so ham-handed, like truly ham-handed, that it doesn't even read as political, it just reads as stupid. So there's a moment where Clark, he's being arrested, and he says, aren't you going to read me my rights? And one of the members of the government says, well, you're now considered an enemy alien, or you don't have any rights because you're not an American. All right. Like, if that's supposed to be some sort of like anti-ICE sentiment, it's really weak. Also, legally incredibly stupid, considering that he came to Earth as a baby and then was adopted by an American family, which would make him American.
That was meant for the baby.
Well, I swear that also these people want to reverse that. Like, this is a very strange thing to do and to talk about. But I to be fair, like the immigrant stuff didn't actually feel like that bit of a film anyway.
Of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation.
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
There was a suggestion that he says truth, justice, and the human way. I didn't catch that anywhere in the film. The sort of social media politics, that social media is stupid and rigged by bots, which, I mean, I think everybody sort of agrees on at this point, and there's a really dumb visual joke where Lex has set up actual monkeys typing into computers as his bots. It's like, oh, God. But that's so James Gunn. Again, it's also, I just don't like James Gunn.
Well, I mean, also, like, the funny thing is, though, is that, like, generally, the people who actually use bots the most, I mean, people would probably assume that it's Russia. But in my understanding, some of the countries with the biggest bot farms are, like, the United Arab Emirates. Like, a couple of people who write about this are people like Mark Owen Jones, I think, is one, and Andreas Krieg, and they definitely do this.
I mean, just to be, and again, I'm one of the people who, when James Gunn was first fired from the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise in July 2018 over bad old tweets, I actually...
God, the editing is bizarre. The editing of this is really bizarre. Like, I guess maybe because, like, when I think about it, when I was younger, the whole, like, Ben Shapiro, facts over feelings, and him being kind of like a meme sort of played into, like, you know... I mean, I remember this guy being on, like, fucking PewDiePie. Like, I don't even know when that was. But, like, Ben Shapiro was just a meme, and then you start to watch him, and you're like, oh, this guy's making sense when you don't understand politics very well. But then as you grow up, you realize this is just a sad, bitter person who's a bit of a fucking idiot. Well, he's a massive idiot.
Offended him at the time. So it's not about, like, anything personal with James Gunn. I just don't like his movies very much. The other politics of the situation are supposedly this foreign policy thing. So the left is suggesting that the foreign policy conflict in which Superman engages is a stand-in for Israel and the Palestinians, or alternatively for Russia and Ukraine. So let me give you the geopolitical setup. The geopolitical setup here is that there is a country called Moravia, and this country called Moravia is run by essentially a corrupt dictator who's working with Lex Luthor, and invades another sovereign country, Jarhanpur. Okay, and so Superman stops that at the very beginning. Okay, like, and doesn't show him stopping it. He talks to Lois Lane about it. Fine. Okay, the idea is geopolitically that Moravia has been a longtime ally of the United States. Jahanpur is a country where we don't know who it's allied with, and it may or may not be run by.
I feel like calling it Jahanpur and it being in Eastern Europe is pretty interesting.
Jihadis, but we don't know. Like, we don't know who it's run by. It doesn't matter. The only reason that Clark stops it, that Superman stops it, is he says because
people were going to die.
I think, oh, Jesus, this is really weirdly edited. This is really weirdly edited, like, genuinely.
Which, as we'll get to in sort of my final breakdown of why this movie doesn't work and why no really good Superman movie has been made since 78.
What did he say?
I'll explain in a moment.
What? Like, what is this? What is this editing? And yeah, he looked a bit like David Ben-Gurion, but yeah. I mean, also, like American, like what? American companies trying to profiteer from, like, basically doing genocide is exactly what's happening now, you know?
The people of Jahanpur are brown.
Look at my African-American over here.
The people of Moravia are white. Okay, so this is why the left is reading this as Israel, the Palestinians. The reason it doesn't work that way is because we are not made aware that the people of Jahanpur are either wildly terrorism supportive, that they have...
I feel like in the thing, there is like a point where he's like, oh, Jahanpur, I think Lois Lane says it, oh, they're ruled by like bad people, corrupt people and stuff. And I feel like Ben Shapiro is just making that argument. I mean, like, this is a guy who said, like, Jews like to build, Arabs like to bomb crap and live in sewage. Bro, I feel like you are a wild supporter of terrorism. I feel like you are the immoral weirdo.
Participated in multiple terrorist attacks on the people of Moravia. They are led by a corrupt dictatorship that murders gay people, right? None of that's in the movie. So,
oh, Jesus Christ. Like, Israel is led by arguably what is a corrupt dictatorship. But also, perhaps, like, someone to give advice on Israel and Palestine shouldn't be someone who was meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu in 2023. Like, you know, like, Ben Shapiro met him, right? I bet this is a quality video.
A lot of people don't really understand the fundamental basis of the Jewish state. Is the Holocaust, is Jewish history? How do all these parts tie in?
Well, it's first of all Jewish history. We came here, the Jewish people came here with Abraham. Remember Abraham from the Bible? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob? Well, they came here about 3,500 years ago. And this has been our land, the one we've been attached to, for 3,500 years. Jerusalem, our capital, 3,000 years. So we basically survived here, thrived here, struggled here for about 2,000 years of these 3,500 years, and then we were kicked out. People think we were kicked out by the Romans. No, they destroyed Jerusalem, but we still hung around. But around between the 7th and 9th century in the Arab conquest, we depleted from our land. We lost our land. A lot of people lost their lands. It can happen. But we didn't give up on the dream of coming back to our land and
it's just not really true.
Constituting our national life, okay? And so we constantly said, next year in Jerusalem, next year in Jerusalem. We wanted to come back. We did come back.
But also, I've read people like, Daniel Boyarin talks about this, like, really degrading, you know, the history and the culture that was made during the diaspora is really ridiculous. Like, Jewish people lived in the diaspora, integrated into societies. Of course, there was insane racism and bigotry in certain places, but, like, in other places, you know, they integrated. Like, in the Middle East, the Iraqi Jewish people did not want to go. Like, a lot of people in the Middle East did not want to go. Like, this idea of, oh, all Jewish people wanted to go back is quite ridiculous. And also, like, how divided Jewish people from Europe were from Jewish people in the Middle East.
Dripping first, and then much more greater numbers in the 19th century. In the 20th century, we reformed the state of Israel. So we defeat the laws of history. The laws of history said you can't come back from expulsion, dispersion, exiles, massacre. You can't. But we did. And we came back and reconstituted this extraordinary state that not only serves...
It's also, like, I love these people who are so fantastical when literal, when literally the only reason that this happened was because they were backed up by the British Empire. Like, that's the only reason that happened.
The Jewish people, but also its non-Jewish citizens who have the best standard of living and the only ones who enjoy any civil rights, equal rights, in a very broad radius in the Middle East. I don't know if the Middle East will change. It is changing. We can talk about it. But the state of Israel, I would say, is like a parable that people can overcome the worst odds in history and can fashion a future of brilliance and hope against the overwhelming odds. I think that's the story.
What is the history of, like, brilliance and hope?
Of Israel. It gives hope to millions, maybe not to a small branch in the college campuses of the United States, but millions, hundreds of millions, I would say even billions of people in India, and in Asia, and in Africa, and in Latin America, they understand that Israel gives hope to humanity. It says, you can do it. That sounds like a yes, we can.
So your family history in the state of Israel is amazing. It goes back several generations at this point, and it really starts with your father, who is deeply involved in the Zionist movement and who actually spoke with a lot of very prominent figures.
Several generations? What? And then he just said, what?
In the United States throughout the 1950s. You were telling me before the show that he actually had a meeting with President Eisenhower at one point.
Yes, he did. But before that, I'll tell you that my father, at the age of 23, in 1933, wrote that the Holocaust, that's the word he used, the Holocaust, will threaten not only the survival of the Jewish people.
Did he? Wouldn't he have used the term Shoah? I don't know.
But the peace of the world everywhere. That if rampant anti-Semitism that the Nazis were promoting in 1933, the month that Hitler rose, if that is not...
I mean, Ben Shapiro, this guy just literally just makes stuff up. Yeah, right. So it was first used, apparently, according to the Yad Vashem, the Israeli Holocaust Museum, in the 1940s, to refer to the extermination of Jews of Europe. I feel like this guy just makes stuff up.
Not opposed, it will sweep and engulf the entire world. So he was not bad for a 23-year-old. He was prescient. He thought that we would be imperiled if we don't have a state to get the Jews out from Europe. The Jewish people from Europe, they would be destroyed by Nazism. So he wanted to persuade the world that there's a need to make the Jewish state. He went to Jabotinsky, who was the founder of my movement. He was 60 years old. He was in London, and he was agitating to persuade Britain to...
Yeah, I mean, also, well, because the reason that they're mentioning the Holocaust is because it's completely farcical. It's completely farcical because it's just this, like, this is not like a real thing. Like, this is just someone talking about Palestine in a way of, like, using the Holocaust to basically be like, oh, we have to have a state because of that. This is not, like, serious analysis. And Benjamin Netanyahu plays fast and loose with the Holocaust a lot of the time. Like, I've got to be honest. This guy said that the Grand Mufti gave the idea to Hitler to exterminate Jewish people. That is literally just Holocaust revisionism. Like, this guy really does, like, make shit up a lot of the time. Because, this is always something that's interests me. Ben Gurion had the choice to bomb Auschwitz and the railroads leading from Hungary to Poland, or his judgment that the terrible historical... And also, this is a crazy thing. The judgment of the terrible historical significance of Nazi slaughter lay not in the frightening number of Jews who were massacred, but in the fact that it eliminated that select part of that nation alone among all the Jews was capable and equipped with all the characteristics and abilities needed for building a state. David Ben-Gurion was upset because, like, European Jewish people died.
To recognize the Jewish state, which they refused to do. They closed the gates of this country. They wouldn't allow Jewish immigration. They were against the Arabs. My father went to Jabotinsky in London. He said, you have the right idea, but you're in the wrong place. And he said, why? He said, because you should be in America. He said, why America? He said, because America will be the rising power in the world. There may be a world conflict. America will emerge as the great power, and America can make Britain do what Britain doesn't want to do. That is, recognize the Jewish state. Well, they went to America. Jabotinsky died, and my father continued alone during the war years, agitating for Zionism. He was all of 32. And he began, that's in 1942. He decided to do something that no Jewish leader did before. He went to the Republicans. And he went to Senator Taft, who was a very great senator, because Roosevelt would not hear of a Jewish state. He was absolutely opposed to it. He didn't want to antagonize the British. He thought that the British wanted to cater to the Arabs.
Okay, that's enough of this. I'm done with listening to his revisionism. Let's go back to listening to this more biting political analysis from Ben
It doesn't match
Shapiro.
up that way. And the idea that Moravia is Israel in this iteration.
And yes, Grand Mufti was appointed by the British, and I mentioned this in my new video, I think. Oh no, I mentioned it in my previous one. You can read Ghassan Kanafani talking about him, like, not a great guy.
Like a longtime U.S. ally that's randomly invading countries for territorial gain. That does not match up to any of the facts on the ground that we know of at all. That's not real. So maybe in left-wing brain, that's how it reads. I could see if you're a left-winger and you don't know anything about the situation, or you think...
Really? I saw the lady with that sign yesterday saying, I support Palestine, action is needed now. Was she actually arrested?
bunch of false things. You could read that maybe. You could also read this as Russia-Ukraine because it's one sovereign country that's invading another sovereign country, and because the leader of Moravia has a Russian accent. So I guess that if you have like poison left brain,
The Russians are nuking us! Go! Go, go, go! We're all gonna die! Come on, come on! The missiles are coming! They've lost their mind! Go! Get to the gym!
But you certainly don't have to read it that way.
This is edited like a fucking FIFA YouTube video.
And I'm not going to read it that way because it's stupid and it doesn't make any sense politically. It makes no sense. Okay, so this brings me to my final point about this movie and all other Superman movies.
I feel like, right, that's enough of that. I feel like that's a really interesting take because, like, it's very fucking on the nose. I'm sure that they'll say, no, it wasn't about Palestine. But, like, it was very on the nose what that was about. Like, very on the nose that was about Palestine. Like, very fucking obvious. But, of course, you know. Alright, probably is because of the others. But yeah, I think I would go back, and if I was to actually talk about it, I think that I've just seen someone tweet about this. I'll show you the tweet. I don't know who he's talking about, but he's saying Alan Moore was right. The popularity of superhero movies coincided with the rise of hard-right populist politics because the adults who latch onto these kind of things, kinds of simplistic power fantasies, are predisposed to fascist thinking. I mean, even when I was playing fucking Space Marine 2, Space Marine 2 feels like very fucking fascistic. Like, I think in my understanding, like, Warhammer is quite fucking fascistic anyway. But, like, I just feel like that there's these moral... Well, actually, I suppose Warhammer's a bit different. It's not really, like, this moral force. Like, they seem quite fucking horrible. But, either way... what am I talking about? Like, I feel like in the case of these films, I just think that, like, thinking someone's going to save you, that there's good and there's bad. Like, I also just don't think that the US government's bad enough. Like, I don't think that it would just be a private corporation doing that. But, yeah. Another man was warned for distracting traffic for having free Palestine cities near a roundabout. They'll use any excuse to shut you down. Fucking hell. The dad was drafted. The dad was drafted in what? What are you talking about? Yeah, I mean, but even if Warhammer's meant to be a joke, I think that's kind of the problem. Once you put something out into the world, it's kind of goes on to be something else. Right, now we're going to watch this Daniella Weiss, Piers Morgan, because I'm sure that there's some brilliant stuff going on in here.
You do not have the right to commit war crimes, to commit a genocide, to kill all those children.
Let me start by asking you, Mrs. Weiss, you're known as the godmother of the Israeli settler movement. Is your ultimate...
I did go to the protest, yes. I had an okay day. I met a couple of people. It was very nice. Kind of gets the satire of fascism better. Perhaps I've not played Helldivers. Exactly. And I think, Daryl, in a sense that Palestine Solidarity Campaign should have pushed back on a lot of those things. I don't take ADHD medication.
Ambition for all Palestinians to be removed from the West Bank and Gaza?
You ask if it's my what I want. It's not ambition. Ambition I put into...
I don't know what to do here. Maybe I should just put the chat down here for now. Yeah. You know, I'll put the chat down here.
Positive things. I mean, when people have to move from one place to another, it's not a question of...
We can go on to... I want to remove my eyes, ears and tongue. I want to see what this is like, but yeah.
Ambition. I think there is no choice now, especially after the massacre of the 7th of October.
Bro, you were moving into their land long before October the 7th. It's so funny. And they also know, by the way, they know that this plays with people. They know that this kind of shit just plays with people so easily. Because, like, they actually believe it that Israel, like, changed after October 7th. Biggest lie out there. Israel was a genocidal settler colony. And I keep thinking about this more and more. People always act as if, like, oh, Israel, there are loads of good Israelis. There's no major protest movement against, like, all of the extremist racism.
The Gazans finished their chapter of history in Gaza, and they will have, the terrorists themselves will be killed in the attacks of the Israeli army, of Tzahal, and those who support them will have to go to emigrate to other countries, and I think it.
Yeah, I mean, I see, I have no doubt that Piers eventually snaps, but what I will say about fucking Piers Morgan is that, like, the truth is Piers Morgan's a liberal Zionist. He's just as fucking bad as her. Like, he may not be as willing to express overtly what she says, but he tacitly supports it, you know?
As far as people who want to live normal life, I think the option to go to other countries in the world is a good option. But it's not a question of ambition. I have an ambition to settle Jews all over the vast areas of the land that was given by God to the Jewish nation. So this is my ambition. And in the midst of things, with the attacks of Arabs in different periods of history, and especially I emphasize now the last attack, the last massacre on civilian.
But see, she also is not stupid. She knows what plays to people like Piers Morgan. Like, she knows what plays to him, like, going on and on about October the 7th. And when you've cultivated an audience who, like, you know, you have to condemn Hamas, you have to worship at the fucking temple of saying, like, October the 7th is the worst thing in history, yeah.
Population. That was the end of the history of the Gazans in Gaza.
But it
doesn't have to do with ambition.
Okay, there are 2 million people living in Gaza. Half of those people are under 18 years of age. More than 20,000 Gazan children have now been killed since October the 7th. My follow-up question is...
Guys, like the stream up. Like the stream up. Now.
How many of the innocent Gazans, how many of the Palestinian children do you think should come to, say, Israel and to be allowed to settle there?
To settle in Israel?
Yes.
Why? Why?
If you're going to tell them, if you tell them to leave, well, because if you tell them to leave their home, and you say that they should live in other countries, why would Israel not want to provide a home for them?
No. Because the conflict between Israel and the Gazans brought this chapter into its end. We don't take any chance anymore. Many soldiers told me.
It's also really funny because loads of these people will maintain that, like, oh, Hamas started it on October the 7th. And I'm not even talking about the longer history. It is innately an aggressive position to hold 2 million people in, like, a horrifying situation, to deny them basic rights, to not allow them to move around. That is innately just an aggressive thing to be doing. To be taking their land is aggressive, immoral, and unjust.
Some of them from my own family, that they were witness to so much talk and propaganda against Israel. And I think that there shouldn't be anymore any connection between the Gaza population and the Jewish state. Let them be in other countries. There's 100 million Egyptians in Egypt, so there will be another 500,000 Gazans in Egypt, and some will be in Indonesia, in other countries.
Okay, but if I suggest that we carve out an area of Israel to put the Palestinians, we just slice off... Let me finish. We slice off an area of Israel, and all the Israelis who currently live there have to leave and go and live in another country. Are you happy about that? Would you be happy?
Well, that's actually far more reasonable, because there are so many Israelis who have dual citizenship, who are literally from other countries, who moved there to benefit from apartheid. Like, that's not a good analogy to be making.
With that?
You have some psychological need to slice pieces of the tiny state of Israel.
No, I'm just saying. Listen, Gaza, as you know, hang on, let me finish. Gaza, as you know, is a very small territory. I'm talking about a similar sized territory.
Is what? Gaza is what?
I'm talking about it's a very small territory.
Gaza is what?
Gaza is very small.
I know.
So I'm talking about taking
Indonesia.
I'm talking about
Africa
taking.
Is big.
Let me finish. I'm talking about taking the Gazan people, the innocent Gazan people, not Hamas, but innocent Gazan people, and I'm talking about taking a piece of Israel.
How do you even become this evil? Because she's a Zionist. Like, this is what, like, I'm sorry, but this is what, like, look, not all of them are, not all of them are as extreme, but, like, truth be told, no Israeli government has ever really opposed this. There's no Israeli opposition that really opposes this. Yeah, you have Yair Golan, but he just believes in, like, a fucking occupation where they separate the from the Palestinians. The real reason, and I mean, Ethan Klein, someone who maintains that he's, like, some fucking liberal Zionist, has literally said it before. If there were too many Palestinians inside Israel, it would no longer be a Jewish state. That's where the problem lies. She's literally articulating the basic tenement of Zionism in a slightly more extreme means. Like, sorry, this is what it is. And by the way, these people are helping Israel so much. They clear Palestinians out. They provide opportunities for Jewish people to live to live in, like, you know, land that's subsidized by the government and all of these things. It's really ridiculous when you just, like, put here and, like, act as if she's some crazy outlier. She is Zionism expressed simply as it is.
And removing all the Israelis who currently live there and sending them off to other countries, and then you put the Palestinian people in that space in Israel. How would you feel about that?
It's not a question of feel. It's not going to happen.
And also, drawing a false equivalency between the two is just fucking ridiculous. Because what I will say is that, like, what I will say about this is that, like, again, like, a lot of people are recent arrivant settlers. Like, like in 2022, 75,000 people from Ukraine and Russia predominantly moved there. Every year, but it seems that like tens of thousands of people are moving there to dispossess the Palestinians.
Right. Why would that be wrong? Why would that be wrong, Mrs.
That one woman protects us. I mean, yeah, like these people are moving over from like places, and they go over to benefit from apartheid. Like, I'm sorry, it's Palestinians live there. They've been forced into places that they're not from to live in like a terrible situation. Her smile giving me COVID. She's just an awful person. The way she diminishes his suggestion while simultaneously sensationalizing the hypothetical effect. I mean, yeah.
Why would that be wrong?
Because
what is this? What is this that Enter is saying? What are these things he's saying? Like, why is he saying "I love Vaush"? Like, what's that all about?
Because it failed. We left Gaza in 2005, and we were promised that Gaza will be Singapore, and I didn't believe.
Oh God, I also hate this rhetoric because like this basically would have if Gaza had like a good relationship and had been allowed to, you know, have it control over its airspaces, its oil fields, all of these things, perhaps it would have been different, but Israel could have never allowed that. Israel could have never, ever, ever, ever allowed that because Israel still controlled the Gaza Strip. It just repositioned its occupation. Rather than having it internally, they moved it outside.
Believe in it, but many Israelis did believe in it. And it turned into hell. Upper hell, down, lower hell, hell. And I think no more experiments.
I like how Piers just like goes,
We are not a laboratory. We are a nation that wants to live in the land that was given to us, to the Jews, by God.
But
this
you
is what
actually,
we want. The Arabs, the Gazans don't want it.
Yeah,
I don't want to be an experiment, a laboratory with experiments on the Jewish people.
No, so you made it clear. You think you will
I answer you very... I want to tell you, what is your private name? Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about, too.
My name?
What is your name? I want to address you.
My name is Piers Morgan. Yeah.
That's funny that she doesn't know who he is. He looks miffed about that as well. I want to ask her what she thinks of Nazis' plans to move Jews. She wouldn't care about the Nazi plans. She'd be like, oh, if they didn't go to Israel, then I don't care about them. Like, genuinely, I think she would probably say that.
Morgan? Can I address you, Morgan?
You can call me what you like. My name is Piers Morgan. What are the fruit you eat to stay healthy? It's actually making you fat. According to
oh, God.
Piers, help me. Piers, what? I want to address you normally. There's two people who speak.
Call me Piers.
Piers Morgan. This is what my...
Call me Piers.
Piers, okay. So I want to tell you, you want to proceed with an intelligent dialogue, or you are the interviewer and answering. Let's continue. But if you want to repeat this experiment of putting Gazans in Israel, the answer is simple. It will never be.
Yeah, I heard you. I just wonder.
So much.
Okay. I just wonder.
Okay.
Hang on. I just want to give you a question. I just wonder. Obviously, you're outraged by the idea of Palestinian people taking the place of Israelis in Israel, and I understand that. But what gives you the right?
So, Piers, you disagree with the basic concept of Zionism, or is it only rhetorically that you want to do this? Because this is literally the premise of Zionism. This is literally the premise of Zionism: moving in and taking away the land from the indigenous people.
To then tell Palestinian people, innocent people, children, who've had nothing to do with Hamas, what gives you the right to uproot... Let me finish.
What fruit do you think it is? He's probably saying like strawberries or something, I don't know, with sugar in them. It's natural sugar. I don't fucking know. I don't care.
To uproot the...
I don't care. I love sugar. Sugar's my favourite thing in the world. God, he has 2 ads so quickly. He's got 3 ads. God, the Piers Morgan show must be fucking failing if he needs this many adverts.
Those people from their homes and expel them in what would be ethnic cleansing, which is a war crime, as you know.
They attacked Israel on the 7th of October.
Yeah.
They massacred Jews on the 7th of...
Yeah, like Piers, because Piers is someone who just cannot fucking... like, this is why Piers Morgan is not like, you know, in any way someone reasonable. He is not like someone reasonable because he's unable to say, like, basically, look, you know, the truth is that Israel was settling their land. You were doing very aggressive things towards them. So, like, coming here and being like, oh, you know, coming here and, like, being... what am I trying to say? Oh, coming here and being like, oh, October the 7th started all of this is just ridiculous.
October, after we evacuated Gaza for their benefit. What is not clear in what I say?
Well, what is not clear is that you have also, in going after Hamas in Gaza, massacred between 70 and 100,000 Palestinians. And at what point does that become disproportionate? At what point does the fact that the Israeli government continues to prosecute this war in a way that kills so many children, does this become something which is completely unacceptable?
Okay, not acceptable. So it's a fact. If they had not, you say that it is not acceptable. I understand that it's not acceptable by you. I think that if the Gazans hadn't started the Hamas...
Yeah, but also, like, realize this, that, like, people like Piers Morgan, who haven't abandoned Zionism, who aren't like, hey, building a Jewish state in historic Palestine was never a good idea, it was never fair, it was never just, it was never moral, are not, like, allies to the Palestinian cause in any capacity, you know?
Hadn't started the attack, there wouldn't have been a war, and we, for instance, as people who were evacuated from Gaza in the past 20 years...
Buy a pound of sugar on me. Thank you. I'm going to be working on my diabetes.
Yes, I must say it's...
Thank you as always, Sarah.
It's kind of a unpleasant confession for me, but this is the truth of the matter, that we haven't dealt with the idea of returning to Gaza, returning to our homes, because we said, okay, there was a contract, we gave it away, we didn't want it to happen, it happened, and that's it. The gates closed.
Yeah, but here's the thing, here's the problem, Daniela. You have no right. Israel...
Here's the problem, Daniela. I think you're really beautiful and me and you have great similar opinions. Much love, Piers Morgan. That's the text he sent her afterwards.
Has no right to just take Gaza, to just take the West Bank, to expel...
We didn't take Gaza.
To expel 8-9 million Palestinians. You have no right to do this.
God, I swear, that's a really wrong statistic. It's like 5 million Palestinians, isn't it?
You've had no right to occupy Gaza for the last God knows how long. When do you think you have this right to do all this? You're furious at the idea of any part of Israel being given up for Palestinians. Fine, okay. But why would you then think it's fine for you to take over Gaza and the West Bank?
May I ask you, why do you repeat the same question 3 times? You know, I don't see your face, so it's kind of difficult without the gestures.
Well, let me simplify it for you. What gives you the right? What gives you the right to think that you can expel?
Yeah, I have no doubt that that's what Piers was fucking texting her. Piers also brings these people on to make himself look better, by the way, because he's just as complicit in the genocide as she is. She may be the one materially on the ground expelling Palestinians, but he's the one who gave justification for it.
Millions and millions of Palestinians.
Look here, I don't know if the viewers, the people who see your program, have the patience for a historical summary. As the State of Israel was established in 1948, 3 days after the Holocaust, and 3 years after the Holocaust, and 2,000 years after the dispersion, after the Romans dispersed the Jewish nation. And then somehow, there's an ingathering of the Jews in the land of Israel, the biblical land. And the biblical land that we hold to now is very tiny. We tried, according to the partition plan first, to be satisfied with a tiny, tiny piece of...
This is also really funny because, like, no. Someone like you would have never, ever been satisfied with that. And David Ben-Gurion wasn't satisfied with that. What David Ben-Gurion and the Zionist project saw, but any kind of peace agreement, because it was that, was basically the legitimization of Israel as a state. That's why they wanted it. Whereas the Palestinians were like, no, don't divide our land. Like when people talk about, oh, well, the Israelis accepted less. They got better land in my understanding. It's predominantly... Wait, let's have a look. It's the Peel Commission. I just want to double check this. I've looked at this before because I was having a debate with someone about this because... I have to go on fucking Britannica. Jesus Christ. Right. Look at where the Jewish state is. Jaffa, what, like... under British rule, Jaffa, which would have been one of the biggest cities at that time, is like under British rule. Palestinians have all of this, and then all of the significant ports, all of the important cities are like just included inside Israel. Like the northern lands are just included inside Israel. Some of the most fertile land. Like, oh, is it really surprising that the Zionist project, which had no right to that land, accepted that? Like, it's so funny.
Land where we have independence. And then when we were small, I would say tiny, and even without Jerusalem, we tried to manage a Jewish independence in the biblical state of Israel. And we were prevented from living this way. I was born before the state of Israel. So I know all this history from my own flesh and blood and my own family, and my father wounded in...
How old is she? She was born on the 30th of August, 1945. This photo of her is really strange. I don't really know why they choose to use this photo, because it's not real, is it? It's like AI. It's a painting?
War of independence. So we tried to live in a tiny land, and the Arabs didn't let us live. So then there was the 6 Day War, and where I live now was liberated. I say liberated because it's the heart of our homeland in the 6 Day War. And since then, we tried to live peacefully. And the Arabs...
She's literally been... Her and her friends have been taking land from Palestinians since that date. Like, it's so funny. They didn't try to live peacefully ever. They began settling Palestinian land almost instantaneously.
Don't let us. So how can you try to change facts? Now, you gave me a chance to relate a tiny summary of history. If you have another way to put it, please go ahead.
Okay, I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way. Let me put it this way. The UK government has sanctioned you personally in May.
She's not a devil, and don't call her a devil. She's a fucking Zionist. She is a Zionist. This is what the Zionist project looks like. Zionists don't actually take that much umbrage. What they actually care about and what they're kind of like worried about is that like this, and when you're talking about like liberal Zionists, they're worried that people like this will like delegitimize Israel and lead to its destruction.
This year, you were described as having been involved in threatening, perpetrating, promoting and supporting acts of aggression and violence against Palestinian individuals. You've been described as the head of extremist settlers. The vast majority of the international community...
Piers Morgan's probably going to congratulate her for all these things. He's like, yeah, you know what? Like, I actually think Hamas were really bad and October the 7th is really bad. So, well done for that. I've asked every single person who comes on my show, do you condemn Hamas, and mocked anyone with a slightly different opinion.
Including the United Kingdom, consider the settlement illegal under international law. Last year, the UN's top court, the International Court of Justice, said that Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories is against international law, and Israel should stop settlement activity in the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem and end its illegal occupation.
Oh my God, not her. I mean, I wanted to see this, but...
Of those areas and the Gaza Strip as soon as possible. So that's a bit of history for you, which is that you have been seen as the godmother of Israeli extremists who believe...
But also, like, I just also want you to understand that, like, and I mentioned this in my ContraPoints video, I don't think you should see Zionism as, like, evil, Satan, bad, because Zionism is not evil for its hubris and the way it conducts itself. It is evil for its politics. It conducts itself in this way because of its politics. The politics of Zionism are that Palestinians basically have no right to live in their historic homeland, but fucking people like this do. Can I check comments? What comments? The Nakba was peaceful. Like, yeah, I look at them. Louis Theroux talked to her, but you don't get much. And by the way, she's not even like the most fucking extreme one of them all. Like, there are way more extreme ones. Sorry, Chris, I just really hate her. No, I know you do. And but what I'm saying is, people do this with the Nazis. Like, they get this misunderstanding that the Nazis were, like, evil. And in, like, films, the Nazis are portrayed as evil. And quite often, their, like, racist identity politics is obfuscated in favor of seeing them as just, like, ontologically evil. And I think we should always be careful with these kind of things, because you obscure that so much of this is produced from the same racist identity politics that denigrates certain other cultures as being backwards, savage, not like monsters who have no right to exist because they didn't develop the land. And this is what the Zionist project is like. This is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think that you should kind of fall into this trap of like, and I will use the term evil and stuff, but what I mean is that you should think about it in the sense of like, hey, these people are like, they are engaging in politics. And I'm not even sure here that I mean the banality of evil. What I am basically talking about is that, like, these projects are based in racist identity politics. There is a reason that Hitler looked at America and went, yeah, America is fucking amazing what they did. They gunned down all the Redskins. I like that a lot. And there is a reason that he said that. And that David Ben-Gurion was like, hey, America gunned down Redskins. We're going to do the same, but we're going to fight even more barbaric Redskins, as in natives. And it's just like, I think that this is it. Like, all Zionism looked like this. There was never this beautiful idea of just, like, returning and, like, having a nice time. There was no desire to live peacefully. What separates what separates a settler from an immigrant is an immigrant comes and it joins a polity. Like an existing society, a polity means like political entity is like the most apt description, right? A formal process of civil government or institution, an organized society, a state as a political entity. Yeah, that's what I meant. Whereas a settler comes to create their own. She's the end point of racist. You know what? I disagree with you there. There are people in Israel more racist and more insane than fucking, than her. Also, I think that people miss that we as people are capable of terrible things. We need to be watchful and wary. It's also, what I mean is that, of course, human beings are capable of the most monstrous barbarism, and I totally agree with you. But it's also just that, like, hey, there is this really racist and horrifying thread of identity politics that runs from barbaric projects all over the world. And also, thank you, Mama, and thank you, Sarah. Thank you, anyone who donates and helps make this all possible. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate these things. But also, like, look at the fantasy of why people hate immigrants here, or their claim. They claim that immigrants come to set up their own society. It's not true. These immigrants are generally coming because they want to participate, like, truthfully, they want to participate in a society where they're basically going to be able to earn more money and earn reasonable wages to send back home quite often to basically make a better life for their children, for their family, their future generations. Settlers don't want that. Settlers want to, like, destroy what actually exists there. And within the, like, and it's quite funny that you find this fantasy within, like, American society and stuff, when that is actually what they did to the Native Americans. They destroyed the society. Presenting them as Satan, demons or monsters dehumanizes them and compartmentalizes their actions as something non-humans do. But they are humans and their actions are evil. I think like in a sense of, talking about, like an action being evil and it's barbarous. Like 70 people were murdered whilst waiting for aid. It was evil. It was evil. Piers is just a fucking idiot. Piers looks like a melting handbag.
That you have a right to all this land. You have a right to settle where you want to. You have a right to expel all the Palestinians and to take over.
And I think that's brilliant. I just can't say it on my show. I think that's brilliant because Hamas are so bad.
For their land. And I say to you that actually, under international law, you do not have that right. It's actually a crime, what you're doing. And you should stop doing it. So that's my question. My question for you is, why do you continue to break the law?
My question for you is, how can I support that on my show without people realising?
I don't know. You present things in a very journalistic way, so I don't know.
Well, they're facts.
You say, do it.
Everything I just read you is a fact.
Yeah. What facts?
I just read you the facts. I can read them again if you didn't hear them.
Morgan, listen to this. I never hide what I do. I am being interviewed by you and by everyday media people come to this home and to the hills where I establish communities. And I tell what I think and what I do and what I plan. So if there is...
And my name's Piers Morgan and I deeply respect you for that because when I have anyone on who has any divergent view about Palestine and tries to actually challenge what Israel does, I ask them, do they support Hamas?
Anything in what is so openly exposed that can be considered illegal.
Well, you're committing war crimes.
What is illegal in what I do?
You're committing war crimes.
Why? So you are speaking to me now.
Yeah.
You're giving so much time in your program to a person who commits war crimes. Yeah. Why do you do it?
I'm holding you to account.
What's the sense?
I'm holding you to account for your war crimes. I'm telling you should stop your war crimes.
I have this, like... This is the funny thing. This is what Zionism looks like. That's the kernel that I want to get out of here. I hate the people who post this like hoity-toity, they're good people. Fuck off. Like, look at the reality of what Zionism does and look at the consequences of Zionism for its victims. They don't look fucking good now, do they?
I'm telling you, you have
want to bring me
you have no right to displace millions of Palestinians and kick them out of their homes. You don't have that right.
Morgan, you hope that through your program you will enhance the.
It's also really funny that she just doesn't know his name. She keeps calling him fucking Morgan. Oh, sorry. I just need to Weiss reaction and more. The description doesn't make any sense.
That I will be put to trial. Is this why you give me so much time in your program?
Yeah, I think ultimately you should face a trial. Yeah. The ups and downs of the economy can be stressful and worrying. One of the
The ups and downs of the economy can be worrying. So here's why I support Israel.
And you're inspiring other people to break the law.
Okay. What shall I tell you? I don't think it's not on my part to cooperate with a person.
He looks like a melting handbag, not a melted handbag. He looks like a handbag that's in the process of melting.
If you want to do what you said, if I heard you well in the beginning of this program, that you want to give a chance for different people to express their views.
Sure.
This is journalistic. This is respectable.
I've heard your views. I just don't agree with them. I've heard your views.
But then you said you want to enhance. You want to.
He doesn't agree with them because she says the core of Zionism out loud. Like, that's it. You don't agree with these people because you say it out loud.
Want to enhance the chance that I will be put to trial? Well, I am not sure this is journalistic, but I'm with you in your hands now until this interview is finished.
I noticed
your decision.
I noticed that so far you haven't referred to the people of Gaza or the West Bank as Palestinians. Do you believe they're called Palestinians?
Palestine the name was given by Adrian, the emperor of Rome, who wanted to to put an end to the Jewish existence in the world. So he gave a peculiar name to Jerusalem, Ilia Capitolina, and Israel, Palestina, and he tried very hard. And indeed, we were dispersed, and somehow...
Think about how much you just hear this rhetoric, or ContraPoints typo. Yeah, that's been fixed, thank you. But yeah. Paris Latino, I have been depressed, thanks for your energy. Well, I hope you feel better, and I hope that watching me talk about Piers Morgan makes you feel better.
After so many years and so much persecution, we returned, and we are a successful nation.
Are they Palestinians?
So why should I support why should I support that?
I don't even think she denied being a war criminal. Let's be frank, in Israel, she's not a war criminal. Like, she's just not a war criminal. Like, she's just not. In Israeli society, she's just the most moral woman on earth. But it's also so funny that, like, if a Palestinian is out here, like, saying, oh, I have sympathy with Palestinians in Gaza right now, they might get arrested. And she's just here like, wouldn't it be good if we killed and removed all Palestinians? Like, wouldn't that be a good thing?
Distorted idea of Adrian, who failed. And now, after the revival of the Jewish state, Arabs from different countries come here and want to enjoy the treasures. I would say most of them are spiritual, but the treasures of the Holy Land.
Right, but just to be clear, you don't believe they're Palestinians.
The Jewish success.
You will not refer to them as Palestinians, right?
I think that Palestinians were invented by Adrian, and that the Arabs that come to Israel today.
Jesus Christ. Also, just like, I love Zionism, because it's also fantastical and mystical. That, like, 2,000 years ago, someone invented Palestinians. The concept of Palestinians, like let's be frank, like Palestinian 2 is like like the concept of someone being a Palestinian. That is something that is born from the era of when we live now. But like, there are obviously people who have inhabited the land for thousands of years, and like, also Palestine is an amalgamation of people from many different places throughout history. But like, she just believes that someone thousands of years ago wanted to upset like the Jewish people today. I know it's stupid, but like, her mannerisms and how she laughs and smiles at accusations of war crimes, her overall arrogance is just pissing me off. Because she knows she's like fucking untouchable. Like, she got sanctioned by the UK government. She doesn't fucking care. Because like, that's the thing. Sanctioning someone like her and holding her up as like, God, this is like the bad evil face of Israel. Like, yeah, she is bad, but again, she is just Israel.
They want to get for themselves the success of the Jewish state that was created here after many years of dispersion.
Okay, and Mrs. Weiss, how do you feel about the fact that over 20,000 Palestinian children have now been killed since October the 7th in Gaza?
I think that the Palestinians, as you said, I said Palestinians, the Gazans and all Arabs around should stop attacking Israel.
Right.
You know what's funny as well? Ethan Klein literally said something pretty similar to this. He was like, oh, Hamas should stop attacking Israel, and that they're like provoking them into what they do. Like, you see the kernels that are in Ethan's thought.
Just asked you how you felt about 20,000 children being killed by the IDF. So how do you feel about that?
I think that the parents should be very careful before they teach the children to hate Jews and to...
I think that might have been a joke by Mohammed Saad. I'm not going to lie. I think that was actually a joke. Sanctioning a single person, like, it just doesn't really have any effect unless they're really strict sanctions. And it also just individualizes a societal crime.
Kill Jews.
No, that wasn't my question. That wasn't my question. Sorry to be persistent, but my question.
That was your question.
My question was, how do you feel? My question was, how do you feel?
I
How do you personally feel about over 20,000 Palestinian children now being killed since October the 7th in Gaza? How do you feel about that?
I think that Arabs, Gazans, or Jordanians, or Syrians, or whoever, should be very...
Am I buffering IRL? What did I do? What did I do that made me look like I was buffering? Oh, I just fucked up my camera placement. I probably want it slightly more down, but not too far down.
Be very careful with the way they educate the children.
Yeah, that wasn't my question.
Now,
that wasn't my question.
Many of them.
Can you answer my question?
Answer. That was my answer.
You don't care? You have no thoughts about these children at all?
You choose your questions, and I answer them the way I believe is right.
But just to be clear, you have nothing to say about 20,000 children being killed. Nothing at all.
I have a lot to say about everything that happened as a result of the massacre of the 7th of October.
I understand you care about Israeli
Arabs
children who died, as do I. But I'm able to care about both sides of children who've died. Why don't you care, seemingly, about the Palestinian children who've died? Why can't you...
Hold on, what did he just say? I want to go back.
Massacre of the 7th of October.
I understand you care about Israel.
Am I wearing trousers? Yeah, I'm wearing trousers. I'm wearing trousers. I'm wearing shorts. No, I'm not wearing trousers. I'm wearing shorts. I wear shorts because they make me look like a little boy.
Israeli children who died, as do I. But I'm able to care about both sides of children who've died.
I saw people reacting to someone or other's statement about this, and yes, look at the gains. It's because I weigh so much at the moment. It's why my arms look so big, like. But also my biceps start quite high. Me outs just put October 7th. I also think I saw Isabel make this point first. I'm sure that she didn't make it first. Like not because I'm discrediting her, but just because I'm sure someone else would have noted this. More starving Palestinians have been killed at aid centers than on October the 7th. October the 7th had like a military underpinning. Killing masses of people at aid centers is literally just a choice to, kill huge amounts of people because to try and expel them.
Why don't you care, seemingly, about the Palestinian children who've died? Why can't you express any sympathy?
Yeah, Hassan's away, so I'm showing my biceps. But how many Israeli children were killed on October the 7th? It's not many. Like, 36 children were killed. Israel has now far eclipsed the amount of people just massacred at aid sites, by the way.
Sorrow or empathy with the children who've...
Biceps are just... open carry is illegal. Biceps... Yeah, but I got triceps as well. Hold on. I don't know if you can see that. Let me have a look if you see if you can see that. I got triceps. Like, you can see them. I'm flexing. I'm flexing like crazy.
Died in Gaza. Are you able to do that?
I warn all Arabs from all sides, from all borders, warn them, stop educating children
Right.
to hate
So just to be
Jews
clear, I've now
and
offered you
massacre.
three times.
I made myself very clear.
Oh, you made yourself very clear.
You asked me 5 times.
I'm going to give you one last.
Piers is impressed with how she does it like this. Piers is impressed with how like brazenly she states it. He's going to go home tonight and sleep next to his wife and go like, oh God, I wish I was as good at her at stating how much I love genocide. I wish I could just say it.
I'm going to give you one last chance to offer some empathy or sympathy or sorrow about the deaths of 20,000 children in Gaza. Are you capable of doing that?
I can tell you that had you cared, and I don't believe you that you care a tiny bit about one killed person, if you do not use the means that you have as a media person to stop educating children.
I gave you 4 chances.
Jews. Right. Okay, you gave me 7.
This is like all he does. Like just do Israeli propaganda. So come on, Daniella. Daniella, I actually think she's been really rude here because like, I'm not going to lie. You guys said, oh, she's got horrible mannerisms. She's so arrogant. Yeah, she's being arrogant. She's dismissing one of Israel's best propagandists. This is Piers Morgan she's speaking to. The do you condemn Hamas man? Like, come on. Realize who you are talking to.
You gave me 7.
And you know what? You couldn't give a damn, could you?
That you are to blame more than me.
You don't care, and all you want is all the Palestinians gone. You can barely even bring yourself to say their name. All you want is to take over the West Bank and Gaza. You don't care how many die in the process.
Piers, you had no problem with Netanyahu until pretty recently. Like, it's only after they killed, like, a couple too many Palestinians that you went, oh, actually, I'm a bit sad about that.
You want them all gone. You don't care, do you? That's the bottom line.
As you said, the audience will judge.
Yeah, they will. Daniella Weiss, thank you very much for coming on Uncensored. I appreciate it. Well, joining me on the panel is author and activist Rabbi Shmuley, the founder and CEO of the Young Turks. Jack Yuga, and the Sunday Times columnist and author Matthew Saeed. Matthew, you were sitting here with me watching that interview. Your thoughts?
Well, I thought it was a very illuminating interview and the kind of smiling maternal face of religious fundamentalism in Israel. You asked many times.
Yeah, it's literally just like the female division of ISIS, just letting her speak.
What gave her the right to ship out Palestinians from Gaza and the West Bank? She gave a whole range of answers, but the key one was early in the interview when she said she had a divine right. She believes that that area is promised to the Jews by God. And because of that, and the fact that she believes she has...
But also, by the way, remember that this woman has just been operating for years and years and years and years. There's no major protest movement against her, is her? Like, it's a bit fucking ridiculous and a bit rich to sit here and talk like this.
The absolute truth. She feels that anything is justified in meeting that aspiration. I've written a lot about this conflict, and I focused, I think rightly in many ways, on the fundamentalism of Hamas. They also think they've got absolute truth. They think they are justified in killing infidels and killing Jews. But we have...
It's also just such a different context. They're killing people who occupy their land. Like, these are Zionist settlers who came to their land and took it away and have dispossessed and marginalised them. I am not saying that you should just go out and kill civilians, but what I am fucking saying is that there's a very different context to a religious fundamentalist like that who believes that Palestinians have no right to live in their own historic homeland. What a cutaway. Yeah, this guy's an idiot.
To recognise that Israel, yes, it's a liberal democracy. I support it instinctively. It's in a tough neighbourhood.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? I'm not actually watching this. I am not watching some fucking idiot like this. Yeah. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. Let's have a look. Also, what happened to Yarden Bibas, like the father of the Bibas? Why isn't he saying anything or doing anything on social media? What is this? Bibi Escobar. But also, this is just a relatively small protest. Like... Oh, sorry, yeah, the second I just heard this guy going, they're in a tough neighbourhood. I don't want to fucking hear it. I just don't want to hear it. Like, he's just an idiot slop man. Who even is he? Matthew Saeed? I don't know. Right, now time to talk about this. So in the state of Israel, where everything is equal and good for Arabs and Palestinians, yeah, that's why fucking Yarden Bibas. That's why loads of the people who were released from Gaza, you haven't heard from them. So here's a normal day in definitely not apartheid Israel of just people going up and chanting Amar Met La Aravim, which I don't know how you actually say it, but yeah, it's death to Arabs. Who taught them to hate? Their media? Their, like, news? Everything in Israel taught them to hate. Like, this is a society premised on blaming Palestinians. Like, look, Daniella Weiss isn't an outlier for thinking that Palestinians' only reason for existence is just to harm Jewish people. Like, that's what, like, fucking most Israelis believe. They believe that Palestinians had all these opportunities for peace, and then this is the shit they do. Yeah, see you later, Hyper J. Thanks for being on. But also, just like the shit goes on like this. I was thinking about maybe doing like a video which touched on some of the stuff in the ContraPoints thing, just called like Abandon Zionism or something like that. I thought people might be interested in. And like what I would do is just talk about like why you need to like just get away from Zionism. It's not like some morally justified, awesome, cool project that you should be like, yeah, there's like redeeming features. No, it's not redeemable. It is so racist. It is premised on Palestinians not having, you know, not having a right to live in their own historic homeland. You know? Abandon Zionism or you're not pro-Palestine. Just like a bunch of people in a cinema just chanting death to Arabs. Like, it's unbelievable. Well, it's not unbelievable in the context of Israel, but yeah. Oh, it's fucking crazy. Oh yeah, do you know what's also really cool? So, Israel has this, like, I don't know if any of you saw a video a while ago about, like, Hebrew-speaking dogs in Gaza. A crazy video. I made a TikTok about it. It was from, like, these people who run, like, a fucking sanctuary, like a farm or something like that. Yeah, that was it. Garlic fries. I was about to make that same joke. That, yeah, is this, Ben Shapiro and his friends after seeing the new Superman movie and finding out Superman has gone woke. Superman has gone woke, and the Daily Wire's movies, and... sorry. I just got a video of saying the nefarious Minecraft spider, and it's just Slavoj Žižek making that slurping sound, like, cut together. But, yeah, like, I don't know if any of you saw this. Anyway, they were talking about Hebrew-speaking dogs and rescuing dogs. If you put the stream in 2 times speed and really fast, like 5 seconds, but when you've caught up to real time, it will also go to 1 speed. Yeah, I mean, you can. So there's an article in Haaretz about this. My mother, who is in Gaza, cannot walk. Since October 2023, my family has been displaced 7 times. So, the Israelis stole the family donkey, said that they rescued it, and now his mother... I've not read this, but I know what they're talking about, because I've seen people talking about this phenomenon on Twitter. Israel is just taking donkeys from Palestinians because they look sad, and they're like they're abused in Gaza. I bet I can find an article about this. It's insane.
ايش هذا حاج؟
I just want to see if I can find a video. Like, I just typed in Israel rescues donkeys. I want to see if I can find a Zionist saying, like, oh, Israel are rescuing... Oh, God. Jesus Christ. I'm just seeing if I can find it, but there's not any videos of...
It's not that I'm not scared from the war. I'm scared from... I don't love the alarms. It makes my body to twitch and the bombs. But I'm...
I also did a reaction video to the Daniella Weiss interview. Where did you do it? What, on YouTube?
Not scared from to feel it. If I'm not scared of it, it actually helps them to understand that it's okay to feel scared. So, okay, so
I don't know what she's talking about here. I thought that this was someone who was stealing dogs from Gaza, but which wouldn't surprise me. Because I've seen a video about this.
Well, they found Hebrew-speaking dogs in Gaza, and the soldiers took them and rescued them. It wasn't just the people that were taken on October 7th. Lots and lots of dogs and animals were taken as well. They found Hebrew-speaking dogs in Gaza, and the soldiers took them.
Oh, God. This is a crazy video. I wish I could find what it was called. They found Hebrew-speaking dogs. Like, Jesus Christ. I can't remember what the original account is called. My friend sent it to me. Have you guys watched... I can't watch the Jubilee video. It'll get taken down. I can't do it. Actually, of liberals. Yeah, that's exactly what I've just been talking about. My take was that the only difference between Danielle and Piers and that every other liberal is that she's on... Oh, that is then you've... you basically just had... You could basically just said exactly what I was saying. No, she says that they would...
And rescued them, and they...
Hebrew-speaking dogs. I'll see if I can actually find it. I'll find it. Hold on. Because we can watch... I bet they've uploaded some more gold, that account.
People that were taken on October 7th. Lots and lots of dogs and animals.
It's called Shanty Farms. That's it. Shanty Farms. Let's see if I can find it. I want to see if I can find it because you'll enjoy. I would love to talk with you if you want to talk to an anti-Zionist about what the Zionist cult looks like from the inside. What, are you from Israel? I mean, at some point, yeah. I would. That sounds like an interesting thing to do. I'm just seeing if I can find this this account. I don't know why I can't find it.
Lots and lots of dogs and animals were taken as well. They found Hebrew-speaking dogs in Gaza, and the soldiers took them and rescued them, and they brought them here to Shanty Farms. and now they're going through the rehab that they need.
Right, here it is. It's this account.
Application just opened, and the recipient.
Oh god, this guy is a freak. This guy is an utter freak. He is such a weirdo.
Truth. Islam is racism.
Oh,
Okay, I'm here.
Jesus Christ. Let me see if I can find this.
And that is the beauty. That is the beauty of volunteering, my friends. So, get up.
I feel like this is just so sadistic, using the dogs for fucking propaganda.
Get out of your comfort zone and make some friends for life by volunteering. I have to explain to you the beauty of volunteering. Have you ever heard the phrase, there is no such...
Oh shit, I can't... Ah, fuck! Ah, shit.
A former anti-Semite turned Christian.
My name's Kasim, former anti-Semite. Now a Zionist and a Christian. Right now, Israel is still at war. Now is not the time to start to flag or get fatigued. You should be standing with Israel in your local communities, spreading awareness with your friends, and go to Israel and volunteer. And there is no better place to volunteer in Israel than with Swords of Iron volunteers, because they are doing incredible work on the ground.
Get involved. We need everybody that supports Israel to be coming and getting involved.
God. Oh, here you can volunteer.
Everybody needs to be a warrior.
Look, this is just weird. Who is she?
In their own right.
Oh, there's so much.
So we are here at Shanti Farm in Israel. This place is literally doing God's work. They take in animals of all conditions from all over, from Israel, from Gaza, all over.
Yeah, former anti-Semite turned Zionist. Not so surprising. I feel like a lot of anti-Semites don't mind people getting out. And yeah, I just always cough at this point.
All different kinds of animals. They need all of the help they can get. They need money, they need resources, they need physical people here helping. All these animals deserve to be loved, and they're all so special. And please, 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 if you have the means, come here.
Here it is, Shanti Farm Rescue. What the hell is this? Oh my god. Bro, what is this account? Like, what is this account? Like, come on, bro. I want to see the translation of this. Every morning I wake up to the reality that crushes my head. I'm in the midst of expensive and exhausting legal battle against a pensioner that treats the unimaginable cruelty to the dogs. Look, from this morning, that dog got out of there full of ticks, malnourished. I demand that he close and transfer to me the dogs that can still be saved. It must happen now, before there is no one left to save there. Hi, I'm Sarah, a former bigot. Well, not all animals, technically all non-human animals, deserve to be rescued, apparently. Yeah, they don't think any Palestinian has any right to fucking live their lives properly. God, so weird. Just the weirdest shit in the world. I mean, I don't want to scroll down this page because I feel like it's a terrible idea.
There are some really incredible people.
Oh, they've put music on these to prevent me from reacting to them.
Sword of Iron, Israel Volunteer Opportunities, is throwing the biggest volunteer day in Israel, March 7th. But we need all of you to make it happen. We are launching a campaign to get 3,000 more Mishloach Manot for our soldiers, Nova survivors, and families in need. So join our ambassador group. We have over 125 global ambassadors that have already joined our community.
This is, I mean, I've never really looked into this. I knew it happened, but like all of this, like,
It wasn't just the people that were
here it is. Here's the legendary Hebrew-speaking dogs.
taken on October 7th. Lots and lots of dogs and animals were taken as well. They found Hebrew-speaking dogs in Gaza, and the soldiers took them and rescued them, and they brought them here.
These are literally just people's pets that they took. Like, this is literally just people's pets that they took.
To Shanti Farms, and now they're going through the rehab that they need.
She's adorable and she's paralyzed in both of her legs.
Because you fucking bombed them! Like, these people are like, mental. American accent, they are going to steal other people's land. Like, I am sorry, this is so fucking weird. This is, like, one of the weirdest things that you can possibly find. Like, these people are up to these people are doing crazy things.
Come volunteer and spend your days with her. Oh.
These animals need you. This farm needs you. Come pet them, come play with them, come help them, take care of the farm. No matter where you are in the world, you can adopt a dog and an animal that was saved from Gaza, that was traumatized on the 7th, that was traumatized since the 7th. Come see Shanti Farms. You get to come play with animals all day. What?
This is so weird. This is zone of interest. This is like zone of interest. This is the most zone of interest shit I've ever seen.
We are not going anywhere. This is what we are fighting for.
Also, crazy that the Israeli government pays for this, and it's just shit. Yocheved Kim.
Shalom! Shabbat shalom!
Here at the White House today, and I was speaking with some people, asking them if you had more.
Why are there so many cuts? Why are there so many cuts? What is this? Wait.
Here at the White House today, and I was speaking with some people, asking them if
what is this?
you had one message to the Jewish people, what would it be? And their message, it will get better. We are strong.
Like, what are you suffering through? You're just killing Palestinians. What do you get better for? Like, what is the better? The better is just a future where the Palestinians are killed and gone and expelled. So weird.
And we are going to continue fighting for our right to exist in the United States and around the world. And, of course, for Israel. So, guys, it will get better. Stay strong. Stay connected. I love you. Here. Responsibility.
Worried, people are anxious.
There's fucking Naftali Bennett. Like, this is just, yeah.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom. 11 months to the date, I landed in Israel for what was supposed to be only a 2-week vacation, and I just ended up not going home. And it is the best decision I ever made in my entire life. Life is meant to be lived, chasing our purpose and our passions in life, and helping heal Israel.
I have never heard of apostate prophet. What the fuck is apostate prophet? I don't know what you're talking about there. There's a story of a person... Thank you for the donation, though. Their dog in a tent, like an Irish organisation, found a way to rescue the dog. Jesus Christ. I mean, that just doesn't surprise me. There are a lot of people around. It's like climate change. I find climate change the craziest thing to, like, learn more about. Because when you're a kid, you're just taught, like, so much about, like, the polar bears are dying and this is happening around the world. And these are bad. These are bad things, you know. We don't want animals dying. We don't want environments degrading and animals have much right. But also just, like, the human element is just completely removed. And it feels, like, pretty intentional because they think, yeah, people will care about, like, a cute polar bear or a fucking penguin so much more than they ever will about, like, you know, a human being dying. But yeah, also just crazy that you can just go on a 2-week holiday and then just move to Israel, but only if you're Jewish, but then a Palestinian who lives right next to it. Nah, that ain't happening.
Israel is my purpose and my passion, and so many others around the world. So I encourage all of you, if you are thinking about it, please come to Israel to volunteer during this time. It's a very special and unique opportunity where we really get to be here to support our brothers and sisters during such a difficult time, and we get to single-handedly help heal Israel. Every single person that comes to volunteer is helping heal Israel. Every single person counts. So I hope to see so many more of you. I know we have hundreds.
Oh, yeah. It's also, you're right, Sarah. It's to feed into the whole thing that Palestinians are barbarous.
Hey, everybody. So, in the last week, since all...
I'm raising money. I'm doing this to honour my brother who is currently serving in the IOF frontline and is experiencing a lack of crucial items, as many others such as watches, underwear, headlamps, socks and more are urgently needed. What? Weird. Let's see what she posts on her story. Israeli stand-up. Just her like chilling in us, visiting the vastness, witnessing the vastness of space. This is weird. Really, really weird shit. Like just...
Since October 7th, Israel has been at war.
Swords of Iron volunteer. So she's the CEO of Swords of Iron. A Strong Foundation. Oh, it's LA Strong, not Less Strong. I'm sorry, my brother needs a Rolex to do genocide. My brother needs the Rolex for the genocide.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. Mandy, lovely to meet you. So I would say that with...
I do want to see some of this fucking, I would love to see some of this, this Jubilee stuff, but I can't watch it, unfortunately. Right, what else did I have planned talking about? Sentimental piano music. The cult of patriotism, especially colonial patriotism, is so unhinged. Yeah, and also, I'm pretty sure, like, since... It's actually kind of crazy. Since the start of this year, since the start of this year, 20 Israeli soldiers have committed suicide, which is quite a lot, and I think that number's only going to go up. And Israeli society will pay a significant price. Domestic abuse and many other things will increase because of what they've done and what they're doing to the Palestinian people in Gaza. And yeah, it's kind of like crazy to just sit there and like glorify it, but of course they don't care. They don't care at all, because you know people like her get to live a fun life. Like, in fact, let's just watch this video that Anas Al Sharif just... Like, these people are like, oh, we care so much about animals. They're literally starving animals to death in Gaza. Look at that dog. Like, this is what Israel does, bro. They don't care about animals. They just like using them for propaganda. They literally just like using them for propaganda so they get like a youngish, attractive-ish woman to like go over, be like, I love America, I moved over to Israel. I went on holiday, and now I live in Israel. I love burgers. I don't know what's wrong with my voice, but she's like, I love burgers and living in Israel. My brother needs a watch. And it's just like, oh God, like, this is insane. Like, who is this for? Once again, who is this for? Slop. Illegal slop. I'm outraged by the slop I am consuming. The slop I have eaten has made me feel sick. Like, let's watch this video of Anas Al Sharif.
مجمع الشفاء الطبي سقطت على الأرض من شدة المجاعة.
I know you don't like the UAE, but what do you think of Qatar? I'm not like Qatar's #1 fan. It's still like a authoritarian country. But what I will say is that, like, on the topic of Qatar, generally their politics around the Arab Spring was better than that of the United Arab Emirates. Like, categorically, it was better than that of the United Arab Emirates. So that's positive. But Qatar still engages in very problematic things, and it's not necessarily like a country that I'd want to like valorize. But yeah, I think it's better than the UAE. I think you're pretty hard pressed to find a country that I hate more than the UAE in the Middle East, apart from fucking Israel.
ومن شدة الجوع ومن شدة الجوع كما.
And thank you again, Luke. Thank you for your kindness.
نشاهد الآن يحاول الأهالي التعامل مع هذه السيدة، وهذا ما كنت أتحدث عنه قبل لحظات، أن الناس يسقطون الآن في شوارع غزة من شدة الجوع، يسقطون على الأرض من شدة الجوع.
Qatar's such a funny a country of contrast, though. Qatar, on the one hand, is like, media is sending money, like, in some capacity to Hamas, but then on the other hand, it has does it still have the biggest military base in the entire world? Is that true? Oh, I want to know what. Ooh, I lose control. You're the one I dream of. Sorry, I'm looking for something, so hence why I started singing. Not really. I'm just looking for something. Someone asked what your favourite Fanon quotes are. Does anyone have a Fanon quote they want to talk about here today? You can talk about it. What's wrong with the lady other than starvation? Literally just starvation. It's really fucked, you know. It's insanely fucked what's going on in Gaza. It's truly unbelievable, but I mean, what upsets me so much is that there are so many Zionists that just deny that this is going on, which is really perverse. Our government is a bit hypocritical. I'm reminded of there's this fucking weirdo who sends me messages on Instagram. Like, he sends me messages about, like, the opening of a new cafe in Gaza. And he's a real fucking freak. And I just sent him this AI-generated image, which I don't know if you can see. I'll check if you can see it. I made this photo of him where he's bald and there's a Palestinian flag behind him. And he literally just sends me, like, shit like, here's a cafe that opened in Gaza, and he expects it to have, like, some kind of effect on me. Like, he'll just send me this. And it's like, okay, bro, I don't care that people are having some food. And I just send him that AI-generated image of him being bald over and over again.
وهذا المصاب الذي أصيب الآن لا يوجد له علاج. وهذا حال المواطنين جميعا هنا في داخل القطاع. يسقط.
But this video is fucking heartbreaking, man. Like, literally heartbreaking. Like, laughing my ass off, bro. What? Hold on, I probably should talk about the video separately. He pissed me off, and, like, I'm not having any constructive conversation with him. He's not arguing in good faith. He doesn't know anything about this. I like just sending him this. I just didn't like being demoted to 3. And I'm wine drunk. Nice, enjoy the wine. White or red? I only drink white. Red gives me terrible acid. I don't have a problem with people being bold, but I just like sending him that photo because it's funny. Like, I genuinely really, really enjoy that. But yeah. This was bipolar for a bit. Yeah, sorry, sorry. I feel quite bad because obviously I'm talking about this, and which is very serious, and, like, you know, the starvation and mass murder in Gaza right now is insane. But
على الأرض واحد تلو الآخر يحتاجون إلى وجبة طعام واحدة يحتاجون إلى رغيف خبز واحد يحتاجون إلى شربة ماء كما نشاهد هذا المشهد المؤلم لهذه السيدة من شدة الجوع ومن شدة الألم ومن شدة القهر والآن ونحن نتحدث هذه العربة التي
Anas al-Sharif is a brave, brilliant journalist, and someone had a good tweet about this that I wanted to share. I want Anas al-Sharif to witness not just the end of this genocide, but the liberation of Palestine. I want him to take his family by car or train from a rebuilt Gaza city straight to Jerusalem or Haifa to pray in Al-Aqsa, walk the souk of Akka, and relish the land of his ancestors and our people free. I mean, it's honestly such an interesting thing. I know someone who grew up in a camp, and they were telling me how, like, lucky they were as a Palestinian to have actually, because they're slightly older, to have actually seen, like, Jerusalem and other places that, like, most Palestinians who grew up in the same situation as them never would have seen that situation. Like, never would have had the opportunity. The anti-bomb is unacceptable. Frank will hear about this. What's in Frank Reynolds? No, it's not each on our date. Okay, Sarah. I don't think I'll have a bottle of wine. I'm more of a beer man. I'm a lad.
دخلت إلى مجمع الشفاء تحمل مصابين مجوعين.
But I do truly hope that Palestine is liberated and that people will see it. Like, people like Anas al-Sharif have given so much. Like, whilst you watch Israeli journalists who just go and, like, spend their time, like, going to watch Israeli torture dungeons and just lapping it up, like, embedded with the IOF. This is a man doing fantastic journalism.
أيضا في داخل قطاع غزة نتحدث عن موت بالبطيء لهؤلاء السكان يموتون على مدار الساعة، يموتون على مدار الوقت، وهذا مشهد يسير إذا الشبان لا يستطيعون تحمل هذا الجوع، فكيف لهذه السيدة الكبيرة.
Wasn't there a report today that like 50 plus people had died of malnutrition? Two more Palestinians, including a 35-day-old infant, have died of malnutrition at Gaza's Al-Shifa hospital. Tens of thousands of people marched in Tel Aviv. Tens of thousands, you know, after all of this, like, tens of thousands of people. By the way, prepare for the next talking people. When people notice 500,000 Palestinians are missing, they all live in underground in Gaza, and then they fled to Iran. I mean, about 100,000 Palestinians, I think, have left since the genocide began. But, like, I mean, there'll be so many explanations. Oh, the Hamas killed them all, maybe, will probably be the cleverest that they're able to come up with, I would think. It wouldn't fucking surprise me. I mean, it's just so ridiculous, because this kind of, like, barbarism is just way worse than October the 7th. Like, there's no comparison. Like, nothing on October the 7th, nothing done on October the 7th even comes close to this. Because they'll be like, they beheaded babies, or they set people on fire and did sexual violence. Israel's done all of these things.
كبيرة في السن وربما تعاني من أمراض أن تتحمل هذا الجوع وتتحمل هذا القهر وتتحمل هذا الألم. هنا العائلة تحاول.
Probably about 15-20 more minutes probably.
هذه السيدة لكنها في حالة من الإغماء الآن كما نشاهد هذه الصور المؤلمة. هذا هو المشهد الآن في داخل قطاع غزة، هذا هو المشهد. الناس يموتون بكل الطرق وبكل الوسائل ولا أحد يتحرك لإنقاذنا في داخل.
رحت على زكيم أول مرة أروح عليه عشان أجيب لقمة العيش.
I went to Zikkim for the first time to get a small amount of bread.
40 beheaded babies, my favorite. I mean, it's just so ridiculous that, like, people like Piers Morgan ran with that, and that's what, like, they said about October the 7th. That's what they said is, like, that they said all this stuff to justify it. You know, also, by the way, one of the key people cooking this up, or, like, who cooked up loads of these things, is the brother of Yehuda Vach. His name's, like, this is also, I was talking about David Sheen the other day. Oh, PC going crazy. By the way, guys, you'll be pleased to hear the PC fixes are incoming soon. They're coming soon. In fact, I might be buying a new PC. I need to talk to TerraTrove. I keep meaning to do that, but it was a busy week. Hold on. Hold on.
Did is they entered roughly 30 communities. Whenever they can, they butchered.
This, as he's saying, this is fucking Naftali Bennett saying this, by the way, the potential next Israeli prime minister, saying this kind of stuff.
Babies, they burnt them alive. They pulled.
David Sheen is really set on the fact that it's made by Golan Vach. And Yehuda is his brother, who's just like mass murdering innocent people in Gaza.
Flower. We were surprised when tanks started firing and soldiers and quadcopters opened fire, besieging us inside. I was injured in my ear and hand. Young men were killed right in front of me. There were so many injuries.
We were waiting for flour because of hunger. We wanted to eat and drink, and suddenly the tanks came out at us and surrounded us and
awesome, Terratrove, awesome.
Started shooting. We couldn't get the flour, and we remained surrounded for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Some of us were able to escape, some were killed, and some were injured. As you can see, this is our situation.
So it's interesting, because is Al Jazeera reporting a different number? Because what was Al Jazeera saying? It was saying 39? No, 92 aid seekers is now the number presented by...
Palestinians went to get food from a notorious Gaza Humanitarian Foundation site, only to return with gunshot wounds.
The tanks started moving towards us. We thought they came to organise us so we can get aid. Suddenly we saw jeeps coming from one side and tanks from the other, and they started shooting at us. It wasn't shots that were to scare us or organise us, it was shots that were targeted.
I got timed out in a chat today for saying a reporter who harasses BLM and Free Palestine activists are crazy. Oh, 100%, they are racist. They are racist. Like, anyone who's engaging in that, who's harassing pro-Palestine activists, go fucking harass the Zionists who support genocide of Palestinians and starving people to death. Go fucking harass them.
To kill us.
Along with the wounded, the bodies of those shot and killed by Israeli forces and private military contractors. Families hoping for something to eat are instead burying their loved ones.
This is not a site for aid. This is a trap, a death trap. Anyone can get killed. My cousin was innocent. He went to get food. He wanted to live. We want to live, like everyone else.
The organization, which is backed by Israel and the US,
is genuinely, like, the people, like, honestly, Zionism is an amazing ideology. An amazing ideology, because the people believe that Israel, the people who have drones, aerial superiority, have not been able to catch Hamas operating right next to them for months, and that Hamas are just killing civilians?
replaced the United Nations as the main distributor of aid in Gaza in May. It opened 4 distribution sites compared with the 400 run by UN agencies to cater for more than 2 million Palestinians. In recent weeks, only 1 site has been open at a time, pushing a starving population closer to famine.
I used to weigh 120 kilograms, but now from hunger I weigh 85 kilograms. Look at that!
Video filmed at a GHF site on Friday shows Israeli forces opening fire on crowds. Despite that, the organization claimed that there were no incidents at its distribution points that day.
These are just people, but the whole point is so Israel can expel them. This is what Israel is doing. Like, I cannot reiterate this enough. Israel is killing these people. It is doing this for the sole reason of making aid unsafe. This was a scheme cooked up by literally, I can prove this. His name is Erez Weiner, or whatever. I posted this in the Traveling Israel video. This was literally cooked up by a guy who wants to expel Palestinians. This was cooked up by Israel along with help from American fucking shady ass mercenary companies. This is perverse shit.
More than 900 Palestinians have been killed near sites run by the notorious Gaza Humanitarian Foundation since it started operating in May. But unless Israel allows more food into Gaza, Palestinians have no other choice to risk their lives just for something to eat. Hind al-Khudari, Al Jazeera, Dar al-Balah, Gaza, Palestine.
Trophy, thank you for the sticker. Is it not going to make a noise? That's weird. It should make a noise. I don't know why it's not making a noise or showing up, but thank you very much, Trophy. Maybe that's because I've not quite integrated it correctly. I haven't watched the True Anon. I'll watch it tomorrow when I'm at the gym. Because I'm going to take tomorrow off because, yeah. Yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to call it there. There'll be more streams next week. I'm sorry, there won't be any on Monday or Tuesday because I'm busy. Wednesday I'll stream probably on at least 3 streams next week because I did fuck all this week, but I've had a lot going on and obviously making videos. I'll probably do like a longer video about Superman and Palestine. I just want to say thank you to everyone who watched, who donated, who chatted. Sorry, I've accidentally started playing myself. Everyone who donated, chatted, supported. Thank you so much. If you want to watch more of my content, go check out my recent video about ContraPoints, or if you've seen that, go watch some old shit, go watch whatever. There'll be a TikTok probably this evening, but even then, I don't know, I fucking hate TikTok these days. So yeah, thank you all. I'm gonna go chill. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so